of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ashley, you want to take the roll call?
Michelle Blythe.
Here.
Jan Schweddy.
Here.
Marilyn Ertley.
Here.
Jessica Stickles.
Here.
Dawn Vanny.
Here.
Mike Hobson.
Here.
And Deborah Nelson, who is excused absence tonight.
Madam Mayor, I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Question?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Do we have any members of the public that wish to speak to the council this evening? Here, 1, 2, 3. So you two decide who's first. Would you go up to the podium? Thank you.
Oh, there we are. How's that, better?
That's better. Just state your name for the record.
Okay,
please.
Everett Lewis, 531 North Dunham. I have 2 items that I want to give you guys a pat on the back for. Number 1, the park. All the shrubbery is down so you can see around the end of the park on the roundabout. That's great. And we had for, I don't know how long, but we had a police cruiser, little 4-wheeler guy, out in the north part of town, which is something never seen before. So, thank you. Thumbs up.
Thank you, Everett. And thank the staff for addressing your concerns you brought to our attention. Avery?
Hello. Hello. I just want to ask the council some questions. Mostly, I guess the main question of what I have to ask is what the role Arlington city government is starting to play in the community. So I moved in over at Centennial Park. I live over there now, the development on 67th. And I know some people that work at the city here, and they told me, you know, I mean, they're going to remain anonymous, but that they always knew that the parking situation over at Centennial Park was going to be a nightmare. They said they knew this from the day the development started. And it is a nightmare. I mean, the apartments are really nice, so, you know, that's good. I really like living there, but the parking situation's just a disaster on its best days. You know, what I would say is I was told that they had a parking space and a half per unit. I question that. I question whether or not, and I'm not, and that's not to the city. I mean, that goes to Williams Investments. Whether or not that is valid, because I'm telling you, there's no way in hell that that's true. There's like 18 free parking spaces they're saying will exist, that don't currently exist, but will exist by the end of August. I mean, we're talking about 202 units. How in the world could you have 18 free parking spaces plus 1 per unit? There's no way that math is adding up. And that's to Williams Investments. So, I mean, that's not even really something I could necessarily say to you guys. But, I mean, I guess the question becomes, you know, developers in the area, you know, really have a heyday in the Northwest, traditionally, in a lot of cities. I was walking down 172nd, and I know, no one has to tell me, I know that 172nd is the state's business. It's going to happen in supposedly 2023. But, you know, there's no sidewalk. There's no way to walk down there. I actually slipped in the ditch. That's what the injury on my knee is, because, you know, cars go back and forth. But 67th has no street lighting on the south end unless you're actually at Centennial Park. So we have a situation where, you know, there's a lot of young women that live in the apartment complex with me with children. what happens when it's 4:30 PM, mid-December, and now they don't, they're walking around in the dark because maybe they're walking places because they don't have anywhere to park because they had to get rid of their car. I've already had a small angry mob come after me over at Highland View Estates, which is right next door to Centennial Park, and I had to tell them, I'm parking over here because I can't. I was told, Williams Investments told me before I moved in that I was going to have 2 spaces, and one of them was guaranteed, and then one's kind of just like a loose parking situation. I want to state that that is pretty common in the area. I understand that. And especially if you go to places like Edmonds and Linwood, Shoreline, yada, yada, yada. But they don't, everyone's going to have to be parking over there. That's what it kind of comes down to. And when I've told people at the city that, they're like, yeah, we always knew that was going to be it. And the people over there are not happy about it. It's, probably going to create some hostility. And I guess the thesis, you could say, of what I'm trying to say is I know that there's a lot of what you might call bureaucracy in how these things come to be. But ultimately, someone approved all this, knowing that, they were only supposed to have a parking space and a half, which I don't think they've done. They always knew that there was going to be more volume in the area, and they always knew that the development was going to be done. Well, I guess maybe someone could argue that it depends on when the state was going to finish 172nd. Not to mention, with the limited parking and stuff, there's no transit routes through 67th. The nearest one, I think, is all the way up on the north side of the airport. So I don't really know what that area is going to be like for the next 5 years. But I can tell you right now, it's already, the leasing office has people coming and yelling at them like every day. So there's a lot of stuff there. And I guess, the final thing I'll say is, we got the city in past city council meetings that I've listened to. We talk a lot about things like art and stuff, but, there's a lot going on in this city. And, I'm a little concerned when I hear, we're going to be ripping down buildings using $52,000 or something, which is what ultimately the developers should be doing. So the question is, who's this beneficial for? Because I'm telling you right now, there's probably going to be a lot of people in that apartment complex not happy, people working for Williams Investments not happy, and people over at Highland View Estates and the surrounding businesses in the area that are not going to be happy about the parking situation. And we're going to have to figure it out. So.
Thank you, Avery.
Yeah.
Okay, and our final speaker this evening is Chief Kresge.
Good evening, Council. I am not formally on the agenda tonight, but it occurred to me about a week ago that this is the last council meeting before August 1st and the official RFA date coming together. So I just wanted to reflect on that and thank staff for all the work. It's amazing what we've done the last 18 months to put this all together, and even more amazing that we did it through a pandemic, which is crazy to think back through. So just council, just a ton of work I appreciate, and Steve and Paul and Kristen and James on a staff level, everyone just did a monumental amount of work to make this all come together. So just a little show of appreciation there that I left all of you, and I hope you all got the invitation to come on the 1st. Just kind of an informal gathering. We wanted to do something to recognize the event, so at the south end of the Angel of the Winds Casino parking lot, and it's there because it's centrally located, so it's a central point to try and bring crews to, and we'll get some outside coverage from our neighbors for a couple hours. But just come, we'll just have lunch, kind of recognize the event, and thank everybody for everything. So thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay, Madam Mayor, I move to approve the consent agenda consisting of the minutes of the July 6th and July 12th, 2021 council meetings, as well as accounts payable, approval of EFT payments and claims checks number 103-186 through 103-299, dated July 7th, 2021 through July 19th, 2021, for $1,185,744.30, as well as the correction for February 1st, 2021 claims check, approved check number 102075, no change in approved claims total, and then the approval of the payroll EFT payments and checks number 30097 through 30105, dated June 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2021 for $1,502,548.45, as well as the resolution to surplus assets, the ordinance repealing Arlington Municipal Code Chapter 2.62 regarding the library board, and the ordinance amending Chapter 2.48 of the Arlington Municipal Code regarding the Civil Service Commission.
Second.
Question?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so we'll move into our new business, and the first item is the Parks and Recreation Master Plan Update and Impact Fee Study. Sarah Lopez.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of City Council. So tonight I am requesting approval to contract with Beckwood Consulting Group for a Parks and Recreation Master Plan and Impact Fee Study. The project will involve an update to the Parks and Recreation Master Plan and a Park Impact Fee Study. Goals and strategies will be identified with a 6-year and 20-year projection and implementation plan. This will include public outreach, updating demographics and inventory, and determining levels of service ratios, projecting our future facility needs, the repair and replacement cost, an ADA plan, and assessing impact fee revenue potentials. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Does anybody have any questions or comments for Sarah? I think we had a lot last week during our workshop.
Yeah. Okay, I move to approve the professional services agreement with Beckwith Consulting Group for the Parks and Recreation Master Plan and Impact Fee Study in the amount not to exceed $84,262, and authorize the mayor to sign the professional services agreement.
Second? Question?
Oh, okay. Don, I could barely hear you, sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the motion
right.
passes unanimously. Thanks, Sarah.
Good, Sarah.
Okay, our next item is the bid award for the Smoky Point Boulevard Pavement Preservation Project. Jim Kelly.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor and council members. This item before you is request to award the bid to Cadman in the amount of $665,020 for the repaving of Smoky Point Boulevard from South City limits up to 174th Avenue.
Can I ask a quick question on that?
Certainly.
What's the street that's the south part of Arlington, that ends Arlington and starts Marysville?
At 166, maybe a little bit past 166th.
Okay, okay. I'm never quite sure. And would you please thank Katie for the information she sent out? And all of the stuff that's going to go out to everybody in Smoky Point. That was great.
I will let her know. Thank you.
Thanks, Jan. Any other questions or comments? Don?
Hey, Jim, do we have a potential timeline for like start date?
No, we have not. We will get a schedule from Cadman once we schedule a pre-construction meeting. All the work, as Paul said at the last council workshop, all the work will occur during the evening. It'll be nighttime work, so it'll minimize impact to traffic.
Thank you.
Okay, any more questions? Okay, I move to award the Smoky Point Boulevard Pavement Preservation Project to Cadman Materials Incorporated in the amount of $665,020, and authorize the mayor to sign the construction contract.
Second.
Question?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Passes unanimously. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Next up, we have an ordinance amending Chapter 2.04 of the Arlington Municipal Code regarding compensation and expense reimbursement for elected officials. James Trefi.
Madam Mayor, members of the council, I come before you again this evening requesting an amendment to Arlington Municipal Code, Section 2.04.027, to basically reconcile the code provisions with the adopted change to a monthly salary for the mayor and council positions by the Citizens Salary Commission earlier this year. As I stated last week, it would basically provide for the reimbursement of mileage or other expenses as might be pre-approved by the city administrator consistent with city policy. So that would be consistent with an adopted budget and according to the policies that other city staff have to comply with when engaging for pre-approval of travel outside of the area. Happy to answer any questions.
Anybody have any questions for James on this?
I think we've discussed it
think
pretty
we
good.
I guess you done well last
too.
week.
Okay. I move to approve the ordinance amending Chapter 2.04 of the Arlington Municipal Code regarding compensation and expense reimbursement for elected officials and authorize the mayor to sign the ordinance.
Second. Question?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, passes unanimously. We'll go to our final item this evening, which is the resolution adopting benefit plans and rates for the mayor and the city council. Again, James Treefry.
Madam Mayor, members of council, I'm coming before you tonight for the attached resolution adopting the provision of medical, dental, vision, and EAP benefits for the positions of mayor and council member. This is the final recommendation from the Citizen Salary Commission that I brought to council in the last 8 days. It would basically provide for benefits beginning August 1st for the positions of mayor and council member, consistent with trust requirements. The attached rates are consistent with those that the city provides to the non-represented employees, with the mayor receiving a subsidy towards the provision of medical benefits at the employee-only rate, and the medical costs being borne exclusively by council members who would wish to participate. Since we were here last week and kind of getting ready for the potential adoption of the resolution, I was in contact with trust staff who reiterated the requirements for participation for the position of mayor that can enroll in medical, dental, or vision as it would like. For the council members for enrolling in medical, it's a minimum of 50% of the council members that would have to enroll in medical benefits. For the dental and the vision, initially we thought that was 50% as well, but they indicated that is 75%. So in order to actually get people enrolled, either now as the 1st of August or at open enrollment at the beginning of the year, we would need 6 out of 7 council people to elect the vision and the dental. The contribution for the remainder of the year for those 5 months for dental and vision is $27.40 per person to enroll in employee-only coverage. So I'll, depending on the action council takes tonight, meet with each individual council person over the course of the next week to talk about your election decisions and do a limited period of open enrollment for benefits to start August 1st. And again, happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
Okay. I move to approve the resolution providing the group benefits participation for elected officials and authorize the mayor to sign it.
Second?
Question?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, James. Passes unanimously. Do we have any comments from council members this evening?
I know we get those monthly reports every month, and we got one last week. And I really encourage you to go in and read these ones from the CED, because it actually answered all my questions on what was happening on some of that land out there. So, and it's all there. And it's very, very interesting.
Great. Thank you, Jan. I'm sure our directors who put those together will be happy to hear that you're encouraging everybody to read them. Paul, do we have any administrative report this evening?
I just wanted to mention to council that recently you've received a couple of letters of concern about handicap parking downtown and crosswalks. I'm working with staff on both of those items right now. I'll have a report back to council in a couple of weeks. So before you break for August, I'll go over the plans that we're putting in place right now to address those concerns.
Great, thank you. All right, and we don't have any need for an executive session this evening.
Madam Mayor, I move to adjourn.
Wow.
Second?
Question?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you for coming, everyone.
Our short